Welcome back to the Northeast Florida Surf Fishing Forecast, November 20th through the 22nd. Here we are in Jacks Beach, Florida, Thursday afternoon. As you can see, it's a washing machine. The winds were east-northeast, 20 to 25. The ospreys were filling up on the mullet that are plentiful in the surf right now. Sand fleas are still around. The water itself is not bad, just rough. 3 to 6 foot surf coming in. Even the surfers weren't out today. There was one surfer and he lasted about 5 minutes and he left. They're still working on the pier, even in the rough weather. There's one guy out there welding. Wouldn't want to be him because if he falls, it's not going to be very fun. But as you can see, a lot of whitewash. This is 2 hours before low tide. So if you are going to fish, make sure you fish the low tides. It looks like the next few days the low tide will be fishable, but once it starts coming in, all bets are off. And the good news is there's not much seaweed, at least yet. Saw only a few clumps washing the shore. So here you go. And this is what the water looks like in shallow, clear water. I was trying to get a picture of the sand fleas running down, but they did not cooperate. But there were quite a few running down as the tide was going out. As you can see, like I said, 3 to 6 foot surf, and that's probably going to continue the next few days. We're looking at northeast winds Friday, Saturday, and Sunday between 10 and 20 miles an hour. Surf 4 to 6 foot. Tomorrow they're calling up to like 17, 18 miles, but if you fish northeast Florida long enough, you know that a wind that's forecasted to be 10 to 15 can quickly become 15 to 25 out of nowhere. Just like today, it was supposed to be 10 to 15, and at one point it was near 30 miles an hour. So that's how the weather rolls here in northeast Florida. There are some showers that are supposed to pop up on and off throughout the coast weekend. My tongue got a little tied there, but and usually when those showers approach the coast, the wind will pick up. So that can sometimes push in bigger swells as well. But the water's nice, guys. If you're able to fish the low tides, I have the tides here. You'll have a low tide first thing in the morning and then late in the evening. So maybe by Sunday, the low tide will be fishable in the morning. You'll have some daylight. Friday, Saturday, get down to the beach 3 or 4 and fish the outgoing, and you'll have a couple hours to fish. Plenty of whiting are around right now. Tuesday, we caught quite a few whiting with a lot of seaweed. No seaweed today, so that's a good thing. Bluefish, there's black drum around, there's sheephead around all the inlets and any structure you can find. They are tearing up the sand fleas right now. They are just full of them. When I've been cleaning the sheephead I've been catching, their bellies are full of barnacles and sand fleas. So that's what they're eating. Match the hatch, they say. Fish for what they're eating. Plenty of mullet, so the redfish will still be around. The bluefish will hit the mullet. They'll also hit the shrimp. But definitely the mullet, just catch you some. If you don't want to use them live, cut them into chunks and throw them out there. The redfish and bluefish will eat them, as well as speckled trout. Because it'll be hard to use a Carolina rig with the way the wind is. You know, anything northeast over 15, the current really picks up. Doesn't mean the fish won't bite, but it makes it hard to use a Carolina rig. So make sure you have the Sputniks, the Sinker Guy Sputniks. You'll hold in place and catch fish. Guys, if you don't know, the good thing about Sputniks is because they hold so firm in the sand, and if you're using circle hooks, when that fish hits, not only is he biting down on the circle hook, he's pulling against that weight and setting the hook. It's like a double whammy for the fish. So you miss very few fish like that. When you're using a regular storm sinker like that, the fish hits, but it'll also pull the weight, so it's not necessarily setting the hook. For the sheephead, I've been using my double hook dropper rig that I make, and using owner hooks, these guys right here. That's all I use for sheephead. They're about that size. The sand flea fits right on that hook. I have a video on my YouTube page somewhere back a few months how to hook the sand fleas. But basically, when you turn them over, you see the little flap that goes down the middle of their body on the underside. You put the hook through that and out through the top to where it's barely coming out the top of the shell. That'll keep the small smaller fish from pecking all the legs away. And when the sheephead hit, guys, you have 1 or 2 hits, and if you don't get them, the bait's usually gone. If it's a drum, cool thing to see, you throw it out and you feel a couple hits and bring it in and the hook's empty, it's a sheephead. If you feel a couple of hits and you bring it in and the sand flea is still there but it's smashed, I've learned that's a drum. So if you're into the drum, let them chew a little bit longer. Don't get trigger happy, because what they'll do, they'll suck it in into their crushers, spit it out, suck it in, spit it out. And so usually when I know it's drum, I let them hit it 3 to 4 times, and usually by then they're firmly hooked. And you just reel them in. Remember, on the drum, they got to be 14 to 24 inches. You can keep one over 24 inches. And with the sheephead, they got to be 12 inches, and you can keep 8 per day. But I would recommend, if you get sheephead, 14 inches and over is really when you start to be able to flay the fish out. If you keep 12 inches, that's your choice. But if you do, fry them whole. A lot of the seafood restaurants, they're frying the smaller flounder and sheephead that are barely legal. They just fry them whole, and you save a lot more of the fish. The whiting, like I said, they're biting the fresh shrimp, they're biting the sand fleas, and also the fish bites. Guys, if you haven't tried them, I say it over and over, the fish bites are just one heck of a bait, and more anglers are using them, and more anglers are having luck and success with them. So make sure you stock up on those. There's many different flavors to choose from. You can go on their website and check it out, and most of the bait shops in this area carry them. And if you live in St. Augustine, they actually have an outpost now, Fish Bites Outpost, with every Fish Bites product made known to man. So check them out. The Pompano scattered reports, guys, they're not showing up like we had hoped. There'll be a good day and a bad day, but with the water right now, it's 73. They should really be here in numbers. So if you can get out there this weekend, I know it's going to be a little bit rough, but if the water's nice, they will still bite on that low tide. If it's too rough, go into the Nassau Sound, Amelia Island area. You can also try down towards Volano, the rocks. It gives a little bit of break from the current. Try Flagler Pier if you have to. You can still fish the pier if it's northeast at 15 from a pier. When the Jack's Pier was open, we could comfortably fish, usually with the winds 20, 22 miles an hour. Once it hit about 25, it became a little too hard to fish, and the only thing we would fish for would be the large redfish off the end, and we would wear them out when it was 25 plus. So if it's 15 to 20 and you don't want to fish the beach, fish the inlets or go down to Flagler Pier. Hopefully we'll be saying next year, fish the Jack's Pier. It'll be fun. We'll have a lot of cool video from up there when it opens. Kingfish, and there will be so many different aspects of fishing that we can open up on this YouTube page when the pier's open. Lots of things to see. For those who haven't ever fished a pier before on the ocean, we literally catch everything that swims. In the summer we catch kingfish, tarpon, cobia, the big jacks, all of that. So if you don't have a boat and you want to catch some of those big fish, we'll help you out when the pier gets closer to finishing. We'll go through what you need tackle-wise to fish on the pier and what kind of gear to target each fish. So hopefully that'll be helpful. And like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know. But this weekend, the water should be clean. There will be a little bit of current. Let's hope no seaweed shows up. We got to pray, no seaweed, guys. And whiting, pompano, drum, redfish, speckled trout, bluefish, and hopefully no catfish or sharks. But the fish are there. We just got to catch them. Until next weekend, guys, or I should say Monday, that's when the new forecast will be up. Tight lines.